As the sun comes up over the mountain here in southern Oklahoma, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy and a fun-filled Independence Day. Independence Day, the 4th of July. A lot of people in this country, unfortunately, don't even know what Independence Day is all about now. Independence Day, the day that America became the United States of America, where America declared their independence from Great Britain, from England. And, the Declaration of Independence was actually, passed by the Second Congressional Congress. It was actually done by 5 guys, written principally by Thomas Jefferson, and they agreed to that Declaration of Independence on July 2nd. History has it that it was signed by Thomas Jefferson and John Adams and Benjamin Franklin on July 4th. It really wasn't even totally approved by the Second Continental Congress, I think, till sometime in August. But July 4th, Independence Day here in America. America, had those guys not done what they done and we not had the Declaration of Independence, we would still today, perhaps, be a British colony, and we wouldn't be the great country that we've become. People like me wouldn't be able to be out there fishing for a living and doing things on television, having a lot of fun. I wouldn't be able to be on here visiting with y'all on YouTube and Facebook, and but we are, because we're a great country, the United States of America. This country has allowed so many of us to do so much, and yet we have so many people out there right now on Independence Day, the 4th of July. We've got a group of people out there running around the country trying to turn this country into a socialist country, trying to change it into something that the Founding Fathers just would absolutely not believe. Would just, they would all roll over in the graves. They would cringe to think of what this country, these individuals want this country to become. I've often said that I would rather start all over again with just my wife and my kids with absolutely nothing than live in a socialist country. And yet we've got a pretty large group of politicians running around the country promoting and saying that if they're elected president, we will turn this country, or they will turn this country into a socialist country. Well, I don't know. Socialist sounds good when you really talk about it, but when you look at all the countries around the world that have been socialist countries, or some that still are, you realize that, by golly, that's not the way that I want America. One of the things that is allowed to happen in this country because of the wars that we fought, the freedom that we have, we became free from Great Britain when those men signed the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. Ironically, a couple of those guys, by the way, died on July 4th. There are only 2 guys of those guys that signed the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, that later became President of the United States. And they actually died on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence 50 years later on July 4th. An amazing stat, really, when you think about it. Some of the amazing things that God allows to happen, just to show that God is still a part of this country. God's still a big part of this country, and He's a big part of most people's lives in this country. Not all, but most people's lives in this country. And that's another reason that we've become the country we are. This country has allowed so many people to do so many things. I fish for a living. I'm getting ready to get in my truck, a brand new 2019 truck that I'm totally blessed to have, and drive down to Lake Worth, Texas, and work at an Atwood's store today. Atwood's is a farm store located here in the middle part of the United States that started right here in Oklahoma by the Atwood family. They've got, I don't know how many stores they got, about 60, I think, around 2 or 3 or 4 states here, and they're tremendously successful. I personally have known and do know so many people that have become dramatically successful in this country, and it couldn't have happened anywhere else in the world. It couldn't have happened. People like my buddy Johnny Morris, who started a little tackle store in the back of his daddy's liquor store in Springfield, Missouri, and that turned into Bass Pro Shop. People like Sam Walton, who started a little department store in Rogers, Arkansas, and we know what that turned into, Walmart. I could go on and on and on. So many people that are friends of mine that have become tremendously successful in this great country. Thunder Thornton, my partner, Steve Wells. I could just name people after people after people. You know, Jerry Jones, that owns the Dallas Cowboys. All of these individuals started with absolutely nothing but the freedom that we have here in America, the democracy that we have here in America, the capitalist society that we have in America. And so, you know, this is a day that we shouldn't be talking about politics, and I don't want to talk about politics. This is a day we'd be thinking about what's happened in this 200, almost 250 years since those guys signed the Declaration of Independence and we became the United States of America. We need to stay united. We need to get behind everyone in our government, from the president on down, whether we agree with them or disagree with them. We need to quit worrying about two parties out there that want to control your life and mine. And we need to just realize how blessed we are that we are in a country that those guys created under God. Under God. A very important part of what they did when they wrote the Declaration of Independence, they signed the Declaration of Independence, was that it was done through the power of God Almighty. And we need to keep it that way. We need to keep it that way. And, you know, I'm going to go down there to Atwoods and have a great time for a couple of days, today and tomorrow, the 4th of July, and tomorrow. Then I'm going to go on down tomorrow night and have a banquet for Cast for Kids and help them in a big charity tournament on Saturday. So it's going to be a great 4th of July weekend. But just remember, guys and girls, this is the United States of America. We need to put aside all this political differences and stuff and realize that what this country was founded on, we need to go back to those principles. We need to believe what those founding fathers believed. Nothing else. We need to believe what those founding fathers believed. There's been countless wars fought in these 250 years to keep that freedom that those guys fought for and won and signed the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. Let's hope that generations from now, 250 years from now, somebody will be standing on a dock somewhere in the United States of America talking just like I am right now, that we keep this heritage that these great men have given us, the men and women who have fought all these wars, kept the freedom that we have. I sure pray to God that it stays that way. Y'all have a great 4th of July. I'm heading to Texas. Any of y'all around close, come see me. Later, guys and girls.